today, everyone, I'm here with a guest from the South, Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
He's a hip hop artist. Would you say you're a singer at all? You're mostly a hip hop artist.
I sing a little bit,
Yeah.
not well, but
I feel that.
there's character in there.
I was trying to introduce Kembe X as just a hip hop artist. He's like,
I'm
actually,
sure
I do
he
this,
gave you
this,
a whole
this.
spiel. Yeah, he's a character.
But it's crazy, man. I saw you were coming to town, and for a second, I'll be honest, I thought I didn't know who you were, but I do, dude.
Okay.
I went through a whole years ago. I went through a phase. I'm actually still really like this artist, Deniro Farrar.
That's my big brother.
Yeah?
My dog. Yeah.
Let's start right there. How did you guys get connected? And if people don't know who Deniro Farrar, am I even pronouncing his name right?
Deniro Farrar. Yeah, you
There we
are.
go. He's a hip hop artist. One of my favorites, honestly. I love his voice.
Amazing.
And it's cool how you guys complement each other.
Yeah, we're like platonic soulmates. Like, so what happened was my videographer and one of my good homies, Kevin Smith, Cosmic Shots, we were shooting music videos together, working together. And then he got a call, and it was for a Deniro Farrar shoot with the Real Ghost, Rico, and all them. They shoot like all the baby shit now. And he was like, yo, I'm shooting this video for Deniro Farrar. I'm going to try to put him on to your shit because I think y'all would sound dope together. So basically, he was like, yo, I want to show you my homie who makes music. And he was like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Like, I hate when people show me their homie shit. Like, let's just do this video, right? So that happened, whatever. And then I think they were in the car, and he like snuck one of my songs on the aux. And he was like, who the fuck is this? And he was like, this is my homie I was trying to show you. He was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Wow.
So then the following week, he had to go back up to Charlotte again. I'm from Wilmington, like 3 hours away. And Cosmic was going to school in Wilmington at the time. We actually met in film school, but that's a whole other story.
Ooh,
and so he was like, you want to come with me to the video shoot to meet him because he fucks with your shit? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I'm on the way up there, and I get a call from Salisbury, North Carolina, which is like the country in North Carolina. I pick it up. Yo, who's this? All I hear is like speakers like banging. He's in the studio. I guess he goes, yo, turn that shit down. Yo, Trent. Yo, it's Deniro. I was like, oh shit, what's up? Good to meet you. He's like, yo, you coming to Charlotte? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, we gonna get in the studio. Okay, bet. You feel me? And at the time, like, you know, I didn't have a lot of skin in the game. You know what I mean? I was just putting my music out. And in North Carolina, Deniro Farrar is a godfather of the hip hop scene there. Like, he's a big deal. For a long time, he was the biggest. You know what I mean? Like, he was synonymous for North Carolina hip hop. So that was like a big deal for me. I was like 19, 18 maybe at the time. And I was mad excited. Literally, I got there, chopped it up. Next week, he invited me over there again. I pull up, we go to the studio, we record a song called Fuck It, and then we leave the studio and shoot the video immediately after.
Shit.
And then I don't know how we became such good friends, but there was never like that awkward time where, you know, like when you meet somebody and it's kind of awkward at first, there was never any of that. It was like we clicked immediately. And it's so odd because we couldn't be more different on paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, dude, we like all the same kind of music. We just vibe really well. And I think like a year or two later, we went on tour in China.
What? You went to China?
Yeah.
Holy.
It was crazy. And yeah, bro, that's like my dog, my big brother, my mentor, someone I can always call and talk to. Good dude. Great dude.
So your full rap name is Trent The HOOLiGAN.
Trent The HOOLiGAN.
Break down, what does it mean to be a hooligan, and is that different than being like just a silly guy?
It's different from being a hoodlum or what are the synonyms for hooligan? Could you think of any?
I thought hooligan just meant silly. I think of SpongeBob when I think of hooligan.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I like came up with it when I was like in high school, like a junior, and I think it was because I was always like I was a pretty good kid in high school, but I was like a horrible student, and I slept in class, and I think there was like this stigma around me from my teachers. I was like a bad kid.
Like a class
and
clown.
I was like, so it was like kind of like a sarcastic thing, like
Got it.
Trent the HOOLiGAN. So my rap name used to be just Trent, and I was working on a mixtape called HOOLiGAN, and then right before I put it out, somebody was like, yo, I understand like your rap name is Trent, but like there's nothing like special about that. You should add a little something more to the name so that people like, so when people search you, you know what I mean? Like you'll pop up. And I was like, all right, bet, Trent the Hooligan. And then like it just stuck. So that's the story.
And then you stylize it with like a lowercase
with a
I.
lowercase I, because I ain't shit. That was like the reason.
So
I was in high school.
I guess I have hooligan completely wrong. I thought it was just some like
it's supposed to be
goofball,
like a person that engages in debauchery. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a troublemaker.
And would you still say you're a hooligan?
In some facets of life, maybe I'm a hooligan.
Yeah.
But I'm a pretty good guy, man. Like I'm not like.
Hey, there we go. You seem like a good guy.
I'm not a felon. I'm a criminal sometimes, maybe, but not a felon. You know.
Yeah. So, do you still live in the South, North Carolina area?
Oh no, I live in LA. I've lived in LA since I was 19. I actually like heard you and Kembe
exact same time.
Yeah, same time. Yeah. So I like graduated from high school, worked at Jimmy John's for 9 months, saved up like $2,000, spent $1,800 of it on like putting a security deposit down on a crib in LA, and I just went $200 in my pocket. Got a job at the Jimmy John's out there, delivered on a BMX bike. A horrible experience, like one of the worst jobs I've ever had. But made it work. And me and my homie Almighty BDS, who actually produced half of the Medusa album, we shared a room for a whole year in LA. Grinded it out, made it work, made some friends, lost some friends, stayed in LA the whole time. But I always frequent North Carolina. I'm always going back and forth to see my mama and my pops and my brothers and my sisters and all my friends and shit. North Carolina is where my heart's at, but LA is just kind of a place as an artist that I need to be.
Right.
But I have no like long-term plans of staying there. It's not like I'm so Southern at heart. Like once I get my money, I'm going back to North Carolina. I'm building a big ass crib, and I'm taking care of my people. But right now, LA is where I need to be, and it's fun. It's cool when you're young, but
yeah.
I don't get like when I see like people of a ripe age, you know, grinding it out in LA. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, go live somewhere where it's cheap and comfortable. I don't get it, but
it's a young man's
to
game,
each his
you're
own.
saying.
Yeah, it's a young man's game for sure.
So just like I asked Kembe, you guys are on tour together, by the way. Were you part of any type of music scene in North Carolina before you moved to LA?
We like invented the music scene, like low key in Wilmington. And people, if you're watching this in Wilmington, y'all know, even if y'all don't want to recognize. But so basically like in the town I lived in Wilmington, the music is like, there was like no real music scene. I mean, I guess there were like 30, 40-year-old like singer-songwriters playing at bars and shit. But Charlotte and Raleigh had a little hip hop scene out there, right? There was a little something going on. You know, they had a few buzzing artists. But in Wilmington, nobody was doing anything. One day, you know, like I ordered a $80 mic with the babysitting money that I had acquired. And I had a Dell laptop from 2003 that my pops passed down to me. And I taught myself how to record. And me and my best friend Christian, we had like a little rap group. I did some shows.
Can we find that online anywhere?
I hope not. We did some shows at the bars, and you know, try to get our name out there. But I think I slowly figured out that at that point, Wilmington wasn't the place where you're going to get your name out there. But the cool thing about North Carolina is it's not like there's a Charlotte scene and a Raleigh scene and a Wilmington scene. It's kind of like North Carolina is such a tight-knit community that even if you're from Charlotte or you're from Asheville or you're from Wilmington, it's just the North Carolina rap scene. They kind of all bleed into each other. Because we're not big enough to like have our own identities in each city,
right?
If that makes sense. So it's all love whenever I see somebody that is, you know, working hard and putting their good shit out in North Carolina.
So it's an easy thing where like you could be in LA for years and come back and you'd still be part of the music scene.
Yeah, every time I go to like the Walmart in Wilmington, somebody recognizes me and shit.
Hell
cool.
Yeah. So was there like a culture shock moving from North Carolina to LA?
Yeah, for sure. Like I think because like We do this thing in the South, like where you might like walk by somebody and just like kind of nod your head and be like, "How's it going?"
Yeah.
They don't do that out there. Like I learned real quick, like people like are more skeptical of everybody that they walk past in LA. And then like we were talking about off the record, in the South, people are like, in LA, people do this thing where they act like they're your best friend as soon as they meet you because there's a lot of opportunists out there. Not the locals, but the people that move to LA. The locals are cool as fuck, but there's so many like leeches and shit out in LA, and they act like you're their best friend, and then they later try to snake you. North Carolina, somebody might look at you like you have 3 heads as soon as they meet you, but it's all love. They're never gonna do no fuck shit to you.
So I always hear that about like the snakiness of LA, and like it's almost become like a cliche or a stereotype.
It definitely is.
But is it something like you genuinely like feel like as soon as you get there and like start talking to people?
I mean, it depends what kind of scene in LA. Like if you're just walking the streets, get something to eat, going to the corner store, you won't really feel that. But people do this thing in LA called networking. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go to a bunch of parties in the hills with influencers and get fucked up and network and like that thing people do where they're like, "Oh, bro, put your gram in my phone real quick. Follow me back. All right, good to meet you." Never talk to them again, like that weird shit.
Yeah.
And those type of events and those type of places is where you'll meet people that will try to use you. So yeah, it's just like people are just opportunists out there. Everybody's trying to get their name out there and get ahead, but most people don't know how to do it with honor. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like I have the people that I moved to LA with, my North Carolina like family, and my girl, and a few good people that I met in LA along the way, and I stick with them.
Oh, so your girlfriend moved with you to?
No. She's from Ohio.
Oh wow.
She moved out here a little over a year ago, and then we met and started dating. But yeah, no, I just stick close to the people that I know got love for me, and I have love for them. So
how hard or easy was it to like start finding like studios and artists to connect with in LA?
Well, I record everything in my room.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I have like really bad social anxiety, admittedly. So in recording in big studios with a bunch of people around, like, is my vibe. If it's like a good opportunity and it's like an artist that I've always wanted to work with, I'll go do it. You feel me? I ain't no bitch. Like, I'll suck it up. I know how to suppress my social anxiety, but I'm not gonna put myself in those positions if I don't have to.
Right.
And I know I can do everything from the comfort of my room because I've been doing it like that the whole time that I've been making music. So self-sufficiency is definitely like something I'm proud of.
Hell
you know what I mean? I don't need to pay for studio time to go out and make a record. Like, my whole album I made in my room with my homies.
Do you have like so do you produce it all then, or?
I dabble a little bit. I just started dabbling. There's one song on my album that I produce, but for the most part, I have like a really dope community of producers that I work with. Yeah.
Would you even consider yourself like maybe a collective a little bit then, or is it just close people?
It damn near should be, but we don't exist under like a name or an umbrella. But I've been thinking about that. Like, we should do some like cool shit, cause like I used to like look up to like Pro Era and Odd Future and all those, like they're like the 2010 to like 2014 like Click era, like the ASAP. Like I always thought that shit was cool.
Dude, Raider Clan made it all the way
Raider
up here.
Clan,
There's fucking I had Kenyatta on the podcast.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like it's crazy how massive Raider Clan got.
Yeah, and they all like kind of spread out and did their own thing. Like, it's crazy to see like where Denzel is and like who ended up where and shit like that. They were really dope. I fucked with them.
Do you have like do you have a name for your fans? I feel like you should call them like the Hooligans or some shit.
The Hooligans, right? Trent the Hooligan and the Hooligans.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That probably that. Like, I remember there was this one of my fans that used to always comment like HOOLiGAN, because it's just like hooligan with the G on the end of it. But I don't like have a like name that I call my fans like definitively. The Hooligans is easy. And it works. Yeah.
So I've been using the word transition period of the pandemic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, the pandemic's still going on, but we're kind of in a transition period. So there we go.
Yeah.
How was the heat of the pandemic for you? If having social anxiety, was that hard for you, or is it easier?
I think it made it worse when I came back out, right?
Oh,
because
shit.
like, but the pandemic was, I think, for me personally, a blessing in disguise. Obviously, it was horrible what happened. The people that lost their lives, the people that got sick. But you know, I was actually planning on putting out All Gas No Brakes, the album that I'm about to put out now, all the way back then, like at the beginning of the pandemic. And then when that shit happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to go back in and kind of rework it and reimagine it. And it's just so much better now. It took on its own identity, and I'm so thankful for that. And I learned a lot, you know what I mean? Like, EDD was hitting, the unemployment checks was hitting, you know what I mean? Helped me get ahead a little bit. I know a lot of people benefited from that, myself included. So like, I think, you know, it was literally the whole thing was a transition period for me. Like, it helped me kind of like, it was like almost like crawling in the cocoon and like being able to come out on the other side of butterfly, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that, you know, I kept my health. I stayed in good health, and all the people around me did as well. So yeah. But yeah, when I came back out, I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And I think like also like the mask was like a little bit of like security too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, no one can see the look on my face. I found security in that too.
I feel that too. I would like to say I'm an extrovert, and before the pandemic, even this might sound lonely, but I don't think it's lonely. I would love to go to like movie theaters by myself or go to concerts by myself. I love doing shit like that. Yeah. But like after the pandemic, like I've been going to concerts more lately, mostly genuinely just to connect with the artists and stuff. But like, I've been feeling that weird crowd anxiety that I never felt before. Yeah,
it's like I don't know if you maybe, because you said you're an extrovert, you probably never experienced it, but it's like it reminds me of like, I used to go on like the winter break or the summer break and then come back to school and forget how to socialize, forget how to be a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would get real good at it because I had to do it every day, and like I'd feel less awkward. And then like we'd have that break and I'd come back and I just like forgot how to be a person.
Yeah.
And like that's how it felt like for me, like stepping back out in the world after the pandemic. Like, how do I like human? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do I do? Like, how do I talk to people? How do I walk up to somebody and just spark a conversation with them?
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like there's an art to that, and I haven't mastered it yet.
Yeah.
In my years living.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good point. Who has, you know?
Yeah. There's comfort in knowing that I feel like nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing.
100%.
Yeah.
We're on a what do people say? We're on like a floating rock.
We're on a floating rock, man. We're just a bag of meat and bones floating on a rock. I hate that. It's not that simple. Like, the funny thing is, like, people like use that like spiel to like sound real deep.
Yeah.
Like, there's more to life than that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Dude, you need to come back on the podcast. Even if you're not in Seattle soon, virtually, you got to come on over Zoom or something. You're dope. I don't see any social anxiety through you. I think
I appreciate it.
I'm a fan.
Out how to mask it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And you have a comforting aura around you, my brother.
Well, thank you.
I try. You make me comfortable.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
For sure.
Well, we got to wrap this one up. It was a short one, but we have a part 3 with
me and Kembe.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna goof around.
Yeah, be hooligans.
Yeah.
Well, what is the easiest way for people to reach you, man?
Instagram, Trent The HOOLiGAN, all one word. Twitter, Trent's a Hooligan, TRENTSA Hooligan. Look me up on YouTube, watch my music videos, Spotify, stream my shit, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever you use. Trent The HOOLiGAN. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
This is the NAST podcast with
Trent The HOOLiGAN.